Lesson 7 for Objective 1. This one's about markets, and as it's quite near to Father's Day, guess which superhero we've got this week. So our learning intentions this week are to make sure you know what a market is. Now, I know you've been to quite a few, but this time we're actually looking at it for exam definitions. So we're going to need to be able to describe what one is and why some companies actually start off as a market, even some of the retail giants. And then we're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of trading as a market. So do also pay attention to the success criteria, the things that we need to achieve by the end of the lesson. And unusually for the careers roles, I've written sole trader, market trader and specialist retailer, because as a market it's quite an accessible type of business to work in. If you look at the lesson success criteria, this is what we need to achieve by the end of this lesson, so that you understand and you can describe what a market is. You can describe why it's a chosen form of retail for startups, and you know the benefits of trading as a market. Here's your list of tasks. There are 8 tasks to get through for this lesson. There are quite a few of them which are finding images, so I'm just going to rattle through the list and you'll have to find out whether they're images or actual writing. So we've got Wellington Market and the oldest market. Oh look, images. Number 2, Telford Christmas Market. Oh look, image. Number 3, a timeline of 3 retailers' history. So I've drawn the timeline for you, so you need to do some research to find the image, but the year as well. The top 10 markets in the UK and what they sell. And then you rank the top 10 things for being a market traders. Then you've got a market store or physical store question, a why start as a market store question, and then restrictions of a market store question. I'll give you a hint, the last 3 are actually all on one slide. Markets. In many ways, markets were the original retailers. Hundreds of years ago, before the growth of the high street, markets existed in towns and cities as the only place to buy food and other products. Today we think of markets as places either indoor or outdoor, where there are many stalls that sell a range of products. Market stall owners, usually small-scale and independent, run these stalls. Some markets are permanent in a specific location. Others are temporary and may move location to try and sell to a wider geographical customer base. Probably also to keep their costs down, because a permanent location means they've got to pay a specific rent rather than just a one-off fee. Your task is get 2 images. Paste an image of Wellington Market here and add some words in the box as well to describe what is sold in that type of market, whether it's a permanent or a temporary market. And the second one, paste an image of the oldest market in the UK as well and add some words of what they sell. Now, we've got to make sure it's a market that you search for the oldest one, not just a market town. So make sure you search for oldest market. Specialist markets. There are a number of markets throughout the UK. Some markets are general, selling a wide choice of products, and many sell food and clothes. Some markets are more specialised, such as arts and crafts markets, or farmers markets and antiques markets. There's a lot of those in Shropshire. Some are seasonal. Christmas markets are very popular. Telford now gets one. Market stalls generally cost much less to run than stores. However, space can be limited to display stock and serve customers. Many famous retailers today started life as market stalls many years ago, and this is often still done by new retailers when they first start trading. Your task is to paste an image of the Telford Christmas Market here, and guess what? You're going to write the words in which describe what that market is. So here's your task. You're going to find out about the following retailers and how they started their business. We're going to look into Tesco, Marks and Spencer's and Dunelm. Your job is to produce a timeline for one of the retailers, or all of them. The timeline is on the next slide for you, with a little helping hand on using shapes with Microsoft. You can move the mini upright lines to where you want them, or even delete them if there's too many. So what you need to do is complete the research. You need to write in the significant year from your research. If there's more than one thing in a year, then you'll have to add the month. So you write in the year and then and then a few words describing what it is. If you haven't got a few words, then feel free to put an image in to describe what it is. Well, here's the slide for the timelines. Your job is to take 1, 2 or 3. Do you know what? Let's everyone aim for 2. Aim for 2 timelines. You can choose which one, and you've got to look into when they started, which takes one of the little upward lines. You write in the year they started, so you would write down the year Tesco started, and you literally write Tesco started, and then you write down what happens at each event going along the lines. If you want to add more lines in, then copy and paste, because I've started them all off for you. Right, here's for the top 10 best markets in England. So you go and visit the website, which the website link is there for you, and your job is to complete the table of these top 10 markets in England and describe them. Describe the products they sell. So you go down the first column and you tell me where the market is. Then you go to the middle column and you say what the products are, and it'll be really good and very helpful for future reference, a little image of what the market looks like. Christmas markets. These are very popular throughout the world, and many pop up in October through to December the 24th. Many people will travel miles to visit a Christmas market. It's not just about buying things, it is also about the experience. Examples include some of the following, and I've put images in to show you. Edinburgh, the first one, has a long established market that also has a winter ice skating rink. Cardiff Christmas Market has over 200 stores selling arts and crafts, gifts, food and seasonal products. I think I might go there, go visit the relatives and go and have a look. Birmingham has a very popular Christmas market. I know that's very well known in our area. It has a German Christmas market feel, which is extremely popular with shoppers. And Bath hosts an award-winning market with around 150 chalets selling homeware, gifts, Christmas decorations, handcrafted jewellery and festive food. Former apprentice contestant Adam Corbally started out as a market trader, a bit like Alan Sugar. Adam started his career in his hometown of Glossop in Derbyshire and now runs a successful wholesale and retail fruit and veg business. Wholesale is when they are dealing with the farmer who grows the fruit and veg and selling it to the supermarket, not the customer. Retail is when they sell directly to the supermarket, the bits that we know, who then sell to us, the customer. So back to that, and he manages his own property portfolio. That means that he buys and sells properties. Here are his top 10 tips for market stall setups. Your job is to take Adam's top 10 tips for market stall setups and rank them in order of most important. Move the numbers to rank these top 10. Number 1 is most important according to you, and number 10 is least important according to you. But don't forget, you've still got to do the middle numbers, 9 to 2. Now the numbers I've already done are on the next slide, so all you need to do is actually move them around for your own opinion on what you think is the most important. So here's the task. You need to have a look at these 10 tips for market trading, and you just need to move the numbers on the right hand side. You don't need to move the sentences. The early bird catches the worm. Get there early, get set up and be prepared. Get the best pitch. As crazy as this may sound, always pitch near the toilet or the cafe. People generally visit both in a market. If you're near them, you'll get the footfall. If you are casual, then get the best pitch you can, and then you can always work your way up. Respect that some traders will have been there for years. Setting up to sell. Always judge your pitch from 25 feet away, not stood at it. If it doesn't look right from afar, people won't feel invited to have a look around. There is no such thing as bad weather. It's just not dressing for bad weather. Wrap up and always have waterproofs at the ready. A comfy trader is a happy trader. Don't forget about the good weather either. Sun hat and sunscreen are a must. People forget that the English sun is the same as the Spanish sun. Float. Never overlook the importance of having a healthy float at the start of the day. If you start running around looking for change, you will lose sales. Things to remember. Bungee cords. You will see what I mean, says Adam, once you start trading. Bags. for customers to take away from the store, cash till box pouch. You'll always need somewhere to keep your money, says Adam. Get your pricing right. People go to a market for a bargain. Make sure you have everything priced clearly. Adam personally likes a deal when he's in a market, and on the flip side, he'll never walk away from a sale. Sales. If you are selling something and you believe in it, you'll sell it. Trust him. Trust me, that says Adam. Remember to smile. Smiles make sales. Simple. Connect. Talk to people. Tales make sales. Find common ground and relate to people. If people want a robot, they will go to a supermarket. Network. Talk to other traders. Introduce yourself. Give and receive feedback. Give and receive traders' discount. Discuss other markets and learn from one another. Remember, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And if you do it right, you'll get results. This is your final task. Using the top 10 tips you've just done and the other information on the markets that you've listened to and you've had a look at, you need to answer three questions. Number 1, describe the main difference between operating a retail business as a market stall and an actual stall. So this requires you to think over the previous lessons. So you need to think about things like the amount of products, the rent, all sorts of things like that. Number 2, explain why so many new retailers start their business as a market stall. Now this is obviously directly from this lesson, and this is about paying attention to why so many of the big retail giants, the timeline slide particularly, why do you think they started as a market stall considering where they are now? Now the last question, describe the limitations, the restrictions, the bad points, the downside. Describe the limitations of operating as a market stall trader. So the restrictions, maybe have a look at Adam's top 10 tips, things like that, and see if you can actually put them down for your answer for question 3. That's it, you're done. You've covered all 8 tasks for lesson 7, all about market stalls. We've got one more lesson to do on this learning objective, and next lesson will be about franchises. Well done this week on markets, and the assessment quiz will be on markets as well.